So Ryu Ga Gotoku Studio just announced their next game, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It is a Gaiden game. While not in the English title, it is in the Japanese one. I assume it isn't in the English one because it's already a mouthful, as you just heard. It takes place after Infinite Wealth and is indeed canon. You get to play as Pirate Majima and sail the high seas after he washes ashore on a small island close to Hawaii and loses his memories. There will be some type of ship combat according to the Steam page, and Majima has two combat styles, Mad Dog and Sea Dog. Combat looks fast-paced, fluid, and just looks really awesome. I'm really excited for this game, it looks super fun, but it also makes me concerned for the series' future. There will be some spoilers for the Yakuza / Like a Dragon and Judgment series going forward. You have been warned. My first RGG game was Judgment in 2022. The story was thrilling with surprising twists and turns, lots of drama, emotional moments, and overall was very serious. It did a great job of balancing the seriousness of the main story with the craziness of the side activities. Then in early 2023 I played Lost Judgment, the sequel. That game does the same thing, but I don't think the story was quite as good as the first, but still a great game. Later on in the year I played my first Yakuza game, Yakuza 0. It had the similar traits to the Judgment games, cool twists, dramatic, emotional, and serious, while balancing out with wacky side activities. It's widely considered, here in the West at least, the best Yakuza / Like a Dragon game. I ended up playing through the whole series and I loved it. All the games had those same traits and had fun combat. It quickly became one of my favorite game series. When RGG announced their 2024 summit, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to see what they have in store for us. I did find out beforehand about a potential leak saying that this would be a Majima pirate game. When this first came out, most people didn't believe it because it sounded too crazy to be true, until it was revealed. The leak was indeed correct. It is a Majima pirate game, with the details as described in the leak. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm excited for this game. I love the concept of Majima as a pirate, and the combat looks great. But here's the problem. It's canon. The concept of Majima becoming a pirate akin to the pirates of old, in modern day, is absurd and insanely wacky. The Yakuza series was built upon serious topics and themes, and took them seriously. Let's start with Kiryu's story. It's about a man who aspired to be a Yakuza after looking up to his father figure, Kazuma, who led his own family. But eventually, he just wants to get away from the Yakuza life and take care of Haruka, and then later on, the other kids at the orphanage. But ultimately, gets sucked back in again and again, eventually leading him to make the decision to fake his own death to protect them. Afterwards, he gets cancer and has 6 months to live. He accepts that he's going to die and doesn't get treatment until he's convinced to keep fighting by Ichiban and his crew. We don't know what the result will be. Normally the treatment would probably extend his life a bit, but he'd still probably die. But it's Kazuma fucking Kiryu, so we might just tiger drop that cancer and live for all we know. Ultimately, it's a sad story. Each game deals with some sort of serious topic or topics, plural, such as political corruption, fights between different Yakuza organizations, personal drama, etc., while taking them seriously and not making a joke out of them. There are definitely some wacky moments in the series. For example, the top of the Millennium Tower exploding and causing it to rain money over Kamurocho, Kiryu fighting tigers and winning, Nakahara fighting a bull, a wad of cash stopping a bullet, rubber bullets in Saijima's guns, Saijima fighting a giant bear and winning, and a huge boat emerging from a secret base in the water. I'm not going to deny that those don't exist, but they aren't overbearing in my opinion. For some, they may negatively affect the story and or enjoyment of it, but for me, they're over-the-top events that you could expect from a Yakuza game with guys that are crazy and unrealistically strong and resilient. But there's only so much I can turn off my brain. Starting with Yakuza Like a Dragon, after they moved to Ichiban as the main character, the games got even wackier. You now see things through Ichiban's schizo brain, and play with turn-based combat while wearing weird outfits. It is canon that it's all in Ichiban's head. It does not actually look like that. It's really crazy, but since they aren't actually going around looking and fighting like that, I'm able to get past it. But it's just one step further into madness. Later on in the game, they introduced a character called Mirror Face. He's able to somehow change himself into or disguise himself as other people, or however the fuck he does it. He basically is that person until he's not. If they didn't tell you it's Mirror Face, you wouldn't know. And they use him in some pivotal moments as well. And for me, this crosses the line. I can't just turn off my brain for this. Like I mentioned, the stuff in Ichiban's head is just that, in Ichiban's head. This is actually real. It's so crazy, even for Yakuza. I can't suspend disbelief. This isn't Batman. Then, in Infinite Wealth, you have even more craziness. At one point in the game, you're heading to Nelly Island, and there's this giant guard shark, controlled by Palekana and Bryce, that attacks you. Again, not in Ichiban's head, it's real. Now all of a sudden this is Jaws. And after that, you fight a giant squid. It's insane. It just seems like even though they're dealing with serious topics, and do get serious, that the series is just getting wackier and wackier. Now we're getting a Majima pirate game that's canon. If this was the Ishin style spin-off, no one would have a problem with this. But since it isn't, I and many others have an issue with it. It just seems like they're going to continue to get even wackier, and I'm concerned that the series is going to lose its heart. Kiryu's story seems to still be treated similar to how it was before, but now that it seems like Ichiban is going to take over, and now with Majima's game, I really hope this doesn't go off the deep end. And like I said, I can deal with the stuff that happens in Ichiban's brain, but it's starting to leak out. I'm sure there will be some serious stuff this game deals with like every other, minus Dead Souls. Even then, there was some seriousness, but it was largely wacky. But that's to be expected from a game like that. I'm not worried about Judgment 3 doing this if it ever happens though. If Judgment isn't serious, then it isn't Judgment. At least with Yagami anyway. If they were to use a new protagonist, then I'd have some concerns, but we'll cross that bridge when and if we get there. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I just wanted to put it out there. I'm very passionate about this series even though I'm new, and I really want it to thrive. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this and how you feel about this new game. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and share. See you next time, bye bye.